There's a common misconception that there are some people who are spiritual, whereas there are others who are not. Now, yes, there are some people who identify as spiritual, whereas other people may identify as being religious. But I want to make it clear that it's not just simply about being on the spiritual journey and that defining you as spiritual. And for those who don't identify as being on the spiritual journey, simply aren't. The fact is, we are all on this spiritual journey. We are all on this journey to awaken to who we really are. You see, before we came here to this realm, we were basically complete, whole, and pure. And as we decided to come here and play this game of life, we decided to ultimately take the journey of refining ourselves, rediscovering ourselves. And that ultimately is defined as the spiritual journey. So we are all on this journey. Some of us are just simply at a phase or at a space where we are aware of this journey, and some of us just hasn't quite got to that point yet. And those people are unconscious as to what they're here to do. And ultimately, that is to rediscover oneself, right? To actually mindfully take this spiritual journey to self-discovery or self-realization. Now, the thing with manifestation and how it ties into this journey is that when we hear about manifestation, we often associate that with just simply doing things or finding formulas or techniques to get the things that we want out of life. Because we all want things out of life. We all want ultimately happiness and fulfillment. The problem is a lot of times we identify physical things, cars, houses, money, a certain lifestyle with that happiness and fulfillment. But ultimately, the happiness and fulfillment is something we achieve through the spiritual journey. Remember, it isn't about the destination of finding something, getting something, achieving something that creates the happiness. It's actually the journey of discovering who you are along the way of actually materializing this thing. So as you take this spiritual journey, understand that manifestation is ultimately the thing that is going to support you in this discovery. It is a thing that actually reveals to you who you are. That is the real key. That is the real beauty of manifestation and materialization. It doesn't just simply stop at you achieving that car, you realizing that beautiful house, you making that certain amount of money, you getting that dream job or producing that, dream business. It's simply about realizing that you can. It's simply about realizing that it is your nature to do so, to create those things. And once you get into understanding that it is your nature, then you realize exactly who you are. So the journey of manifestation is really the journey of coming into realization as to who you really are, your true role in this realm, in this reality, in this universe is as the creator of all things that you are experiencing. Now, you can associate that with just yourself, your identity, or you can associate that with being connected to the grand scheme of the universe, grand consciousness, or God. Identify that though there is a separation, there is also a oneness with that. Your role here, the game of life, is to realize that oneness, realize who you are. And manifestation is the way by which you come into that rediscovery, coming to that self-realization. As you come into the self-realization, identify that you are the sole creator. You are the only one. Many times we talked about how people associate being the co-creator, right? Being co-creator of your life, just the co-pilot of this journey that you're on. And quite frankly, that is a disservice to who you really are. That is taking away from the significance that you ultimately are judged, you ultimately are doing the work. You are utilizing the power of the universe. And that is where the confusion happens, because we are acknowledging that the power of the universe, of the cosmos, is all infinite and all powerful. We tend to want to separate that from ourselves, not identifying the fact that we are one with that. And so this is how you have to manage your ego, with realizing that that sense of wanting to separate yourself from others can often do you a disservice. And it's often because the ego his job is to separate, to play this game of life, but your job consciously is to bring that true awareness to your experience. So that way you acknowledge, okay, though the ego is there telling me this, and the ego has this purpose, that ultimately my true purpose, right? The true purpose of who you are, your consciousness, is to acknowledge that you are God being expressed as you. You are God in this space, in time, in this body. And therefore, you are responsible for all the creations that you are currently materializing at this moment, and all the creations that you have materialized in the past and will materialize in the future. But you must recognize that this is simply all because of you. This is simply your soul and your complete responsibility. You are the sole controller of everything that is happening here. Let go of the anxiety, the worry, let go of this idea that you can fail. You cannot fail. You already have won, and everything that you do is simply a process by which you understand the ways in which to win more, or to experience these winnings, right? To experience this achievement, to experience this truth, this reality. Now you must come to a place where you let go of the anxiety, the doubt, the questioning that the ego is bringing to you, because then you get to truly understand the balance of consciousness versus ego, and truly come into complete wholeness about your abilities and what you can do, what you can manifest and materialize, and let go of the inadequacies of being quote unquote human, right? Acknowledge that being human isn't simply something that you can put down and discredit, disregard, see as something that is insignificant, when in fact it is probably the most amazing, most beautiful thing that you can be. Because being human means that you have materialized yourself in this realm, in this body. You are moving, you are talking, you are, eating, you are sleeping, you are creating, you are doing, and that is evidence of your power. So when you recognize that, and you continue to recognize the supportive evidence of your materialization being the proof that you are God of your universe, then you understand and you can let go of any worries, any fears, any doubts, and simply be at a place of gratitude, being a place of completeness, confidence, beauty, and joy as you experience the blessing of life here on earth. Thank you so much. Feel free to visit drabundant.com. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.